5 characters?
Yes, can you enumerate all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the letters that start from 1.
Do they have to be in order?
No.
Okay, that's a good question. I mean, I think in terms of a character who I felt very attached to personally, and who I also think he was just a joy to play because he was a really complex guy. It was Chris. I guess Chris Smiles in Skins has been, it was the first major thing that I did, and it's kind of, I feel like I might have peaked a bit too early. It's something that 10 years on, people are still, Skins is a show that people are still talking about. It's a character that still seems to, I don't know, that people still seem to miss a little bit. And, I don't want to give anything away for anyone that hasn't seen it, but, there's a certain thing that happens to him that maybe is a little bit kind of harrowing for some people, and they still kind of feel how they felt when they watched that scene. So I think Chris will forever be the character that maybe defines my career. I don't know, and I'd be happy with that if it is. I say another one is. I don't know if any of you guys have seen This Is England over here, but there's a TV series back home by a director who I was a massive fan of before I even got to work with him. It was actually my first ambition as an actor to work with this director. Shane Meadows is his name. And I get to play a character called Higgy in that, and he's just an idiot. He's just like a real idiot, and it's all improvised, so you're kind of making, there's no script, you're just sort of making it up as you go along. So I just get to be all those things that you normally filter out in real life that come into your brain and you go, don't say that. You get to say them as Higgy. You get to be, this kind of awful person. Who else? Gendry, I feel like there's more to discover with him. I love working on Game of Thrones. It was great. But I feel like because the stories are so disparate, you only really get to scratch the surface of each character, and I felt like with Gendry, whilst I had loads of fun playing him, I didn't feel I found everything out that there is to find out about him. God, who else? I enjoyed working on the Game Changers with Daniel Radcliffe. I'd done quite a few roles in the lead up to that were quite emotionally taxing, I guess. They were sort of heavy subject matter, characters going through a lot of inner turmoil, and the Game Changers was just a kind of a welcome relief from that, really. I was just playing like a guy who was on a really fun journey with one of his best friends, and so getting to work with Daniel was great too. And then I guess 5th is a job that I did called Southcliffe a few years ago on Channel 4 back in the UK, and it was directed by a guy called Sean Durkin, who I just think is a really, really talented director. He made a film called Martha, Marcy May, Marlene, which came out, I think, probably about 5 years ago now. So time flies. But again, he's another director whose work I really, really admired. And when the opportunity came up to do something with him, I grabbed it with both hands, really. And he is a phenomenal director. I would work with him for the rest of my career, if he wanted me to. So I'd say Southcliffe.
There you go, the top 5.
Game of Thrones is that there are these quite obvious, there are a lot of complex characters, but then there are these quite obvious villains of the piece that an audience kind of loves to hate. Joffrey kind of springs to mind as kind of one of the main ones, and then Ramsay Bolton. But I think you as an audience member, you're hoping that they come to a really horrific end. But then when that happens, you sort of miss them, because they were such great characters, and you sort of enjoyed seeing those actors do such a great job with them. So I think there'll be a lot of people out there, and I'm kind of one of them that would like. I'm actually not one of those people that really hates Cersei. I think at the heart of it, she's someone who, yes, she's ruthless, but she loves her kids and kind of would do anything for them, and I think it's very identifiable emotion. But she is completely ruthless within it. I can see why people wouldn't like her, but I actually do quite like Cersei. I guess Littlefinger's the obvious one. I think he's always someone that his intentions are never sincere. He's always in it for himself. And him being so close to Sansa now, I don't think it's necessarily good news for the start. So yeah, little finger. Get rid.
Thank you so much.
I used to love X-Men as a kid, and I always wanted to be Cyclops. So he's my favourite X-Man, I guess. Because I mean, Nick is great as the Beast. So I couldn't do a better job than Nick as the Beast. And also, he spends like 6 hours getting into that makeup every day, and I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to be blue.
Thank you. Then we move on to Mixed TV, Sunny Kim.
Hi. Do you still keep in touch with your co-stars from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I was saying earlier actually that the nicest thing about being part of the show for me was that there was a lot of other actors that were the same age or a similar age to me, so we all formed quite a sort of close bond. And whilst obviously with every passing year there are less of those people involved in Game of Thrones anymore because their characters keep dying, we all still stay friends. So it's harder as everyone gets more busy in between series of Game of Thrones. It's hard to all meet up, but yeah, I mean, I'm friends with Kit, Richard Madden, Alfie Allen, Ula Chaplin, Finn Jones, Gwendolyn Christie.
Who among them do you miss the most?
Pardon?
Who among them do you miss the most?
Oh, that's a hard question. I miss them all. But I love Gwendolyn. I love Gwendolyn, and I don't get to see her as often as I'd like to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now from ABS-CBN Chicken Pork Adobo, we have Ruth Jimenez.
Hi, bro.
Hi.
Hi, huge fan. I just want to ask, we're missing you on Game of Thrones. So my question is there a chance you'll come back this season?
I'm amazed it's taken this long for that question to be asked. I was like, I'm going, here we go. When's Genji coming back? And do you know what? I would love, like I said, having so many friends on the show, it's something that I've missed. You know, I've missed kind of spending time with them. I've missed Belfast as well. Belfast is a wonderful city to work in. And I would jump at the opportunity to go back, but the reality is that I don't know when or if he's going to return. I don't know. I think that they should address Genji's storyline, but I would say that. But I don't know. But I would like to.
I hope you come back.
Thank you. Me too.
Well, you were saying, since the last scene was you rowing away,
Yeah.
you ended up in the shores of Manila, is what happened.
Eventually.
Now
yeah.
we know what happened to him, right?
The gale force winds blow you all the way into Manila. But I mean, I think the other thing is, the other worrying thing is that when you last saw Gendry rowing away, he was rowing away pretty terribly. So he's going to have to get a lot better if he's going to survive. The river crossing, the sea crossing.
Everyone's hoping to see you back there.
Pardon?
Everyone's hoping to see you back there.
Thank you. I would love to. I'd love to go back. The fingers crossed.
So moving on, Spot PH, I Need the Hanay.
Thank you. Welcome to my
Hiya.
I would just like to know, you do a lot of emotionally taxing roles. How do you as an actor delve into that kind of mindset? Especially with your first role was Chris in Saints, and it was a very kind of heavy role.
Yeah, so what was I missed just the...
How do you as an actor delve into such heavy roles?
I mean, I think I'm drawn to them because... Not because I have a particularly sort of dark soul, but because I don't know. I guess I see them as a challenge. You know, I think it's always important to take yourself out of your comfort zone. Well, it is for me anyway. And I guess that so it's kind of a good thing in that my comfort zone is. I'm quite a happy guy. You know, I've had a lovely upbringing, and I don't have this sort of like well of despair to draw on. As an actor, so I guess I just try and it doesn't really help me that much to kind of immerse myself in this in this kind of turmoil. I just try to empathize as much as I can. I know there's a lot of actors that use techniques like they try and link if there's something in a script, a particularly harrowing event that that takes place and affects their character, they try and link it to something that's happened in their lives and try and remember how they felt then and recreate that. To me, that takes me out of the moment of the scene and of the script. So I just try and immerse myself in the script, I guess, more than anything, and try and be as present as possible when we're actually filming it. And I think that's the easiest way it's the easiest way for me to access that emotion. It's just to not be thinking about how I'm going to access it and just trying to feel it, trying to feel the scene. So, yeah, thanks.
So it's more like making that your reality at that moment
Yes,
in time.
exactly.
Right?
It's like it's rather than sort of linking it to my own. Just trying to using your imagination, I guess, which is what like acting is. Play pretend.
Okay. From Flip Geeks, we got GP Manalo.
Hi Joe.
Hey.
I want to ask because most people would know you as Genry and Chris. Do you see a piece of yourself with those characters? And if yes, what are those pieces?
Sorry, I missed the end of that.
What are those pieces that you see with those characters?
Oh, the other pieces outside of like Game of Thrones and
Like Chris and Genry, because most people would know you as those characters. Now, do you see yourself in those characters? And if yes,
do I see myself in them?
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess I think with Chris, I sort of I identified with his. I guess I liked his spirit, and there are parts of him that I wished I was more like. Like he had some terrible, he had a really kind of tricky home life. But despite all of that, he still seemed like an optimistic person. And I think at the time when I was playing the role, I definitely saw myself in that light. I was like, I'm an optimist, more than anything. And I think I still am. I think inevitably as you get a little bit older, there can be a little more kind of angst can creep in, responsibilities arrive, whether it's paying a mortgage or, whatever, or your kids down the line, stuff like that. I think as you get older, you inevitably become a little more kind of reserved. But yeah, I guess I still like to take a bit of that spirit with me. Chris's kind of optimism and just his. I don't know. I think Chris definitely had a "you only live once" mentality, and I think I have that as well. I mean, for him there was a reason for it. He knew that he was kind of susceptible to. He knew that his life could be cut short at any minute, and I don't have that sort of to worry about. But I still try and take up every opportunity and try and say yes to as many things as possible. Really, Dempsie, I guess I don't feel quite as close to. I'd like to think that I have his sense of principle. He seems to me like someone who will stick up for those around him when the time comes, and I think he's the kind of person that he's never. I always used to say about Dempsie that I feel like he's finished a few fights but never started one. And I think it's a good way to live. That's a good ethos to sort of live your life by. Never start a fight with anyone, but if you have to finish one, then do it. I've never had to, by the way. I'm not out there like having punch-ups with people in the street on the weekend. But yeah, Genry's a man of principle, and I'd like to think that I'm like him. I don't know.
From Anime PH, we got Jillian Imbati.
There's a poll.
Hi.
Hiya.
Hi, my name is Jill from Anime PH, and we've known your character as Junior from Game of Thrones. So you've been with Game of Thrones for 3 seasons. If you're given a chance to choose a character of Game of Thrones, who would you choose and why?
If I could play a different character?
Yes.
I think it's always quite fun to play a villain, right? So I think Ramsay Bolton is a really interesting. And I think Ewan was absolutely perfect for that role, and I think he hit it out the park. I thought he was fantastic. I'm not for a minute sort of sitting here saying I think I could do a better job than Ewan. But I think as a character, he was just a really fun. You get to really play around with him, and I think I find that I think that was a blast to play that role for kind of 3 years. I think on the flip side, another really interesting role, kind of male role that I could potentially have a go at is Theon. And again, I think part of the reason why I think it's such a great role is because Alfie Allen does such a great job in it. But getting to play those two sides, the sort of the quite cocky Theon Greyjoy, who he was cocky, but he still didn't really know where he fitted in within his family. He was just their sort of ward, and all the kind of identity issues that come with that, and not being accepted by his father. And then what happens to him subsequently? The transformation into Reek, and then back again to some kind of redemption. I think it's a really, really interesting story arc. Probably one of the most interesting characters and complex characters that they've written in Game of Thrones, and I think that'd be a really, really fun part to play. Oh, well, I'd say fun. I think he spent most of season 3 screaming, so I don't know how fun that would end up being.
Sa skin.